Hello everyone, welcome to Analysis Trends. I'm Rupam. I'm currently a business analyst. In this video, we are going to understand how do you manage stakeholder collaboration, which is the BABOK chapter 4.5. Now, to understand it better, we have two examples that help you to manage your stakeholder collaboration and understand how do you manage them. And we'll also do it as a very short explanatory video so that it will give you a better outcome. So moving forward, who are your stakeholders and why do you want to manage them? The first question comes here is everyone is your stakeholders. It might be indirect or directly involved in the project. The purpose, description, as well as input, elements, guidelines, tools, and techniques, everything is discussed using a mind map so that it will be better for you when you read this BAPOC guide, you'll be able to understand them. So moving forward, the reason we are managing stakeholder is to basically make an effective communication with them. The reason we want to do an effective communication is to gather requirements from them and gain agreement so that we are aligned with the project. Now, we need to make sure that the stakeholders are aligned towards a common goal. That's the reason we are actually managing or collaborating with the stakeholders. If they are actually aligned with the project goals, then our success rate is 100%. If the stakeholders collaboration is not that accurate, then effects of poor relationships as well as failures of the project is a major cause of this. The reason we are highlighting here so much as effective communication because clarity as well as content is very important when you actually manage stakeholder collaboration. You need to be very clear in identifying roles, then maintaining effective communications because it involves identifying stakeholders using stakeholder map, and this is not at the very first stage. It is throughout the project till you hand over the project as well as at the end of the project as well, and after the project during your maintenance. So effective communication, just as simple as communicating with stakeholders, is very important till the project is ended. Next, inputs. What do you need before you communicate with your stakeholders or before you actually collaborate with them? The first thing you have to understand is what kind of approach you want to go with because every stakeholder is different. Every stakeholder has their own impact, own responsibilities, own area of behavior, right? Then you need to understand what kind of approach I need to be choosing. That's the reason there are types of expected engagement and management based on the stakeholders' characteristics. How stakeholders need to be managed is the second thing you would able to understand and you will able to know before you actually collaborate with them. Then you need to have business analysis performance assessment plan that gives you key information about the task as well as focus on stakeholder engagement risk. The reason is you want to show the profit and loss of doing this thing based on your activities, and that will give you an agreement whether to do it or not from the stakeholders because those are the one who would approve or agree on the tasks that need to be done, and those also have the same impact on them. So these are the inputs that actually you need to be considering before you collaborate with them. Next is element. How do you do that? Is you can gain agreements and commitments. How do you gain agreements and commitments? Basically agreed on time, resources, need upfront. So basically stakeholders and you, basically like business analyst, need to have a time and resources needed upfront because these uh, time value here is very important. You need to collaborate with them very regularly so that everything is all up to date and the information and updates are given regularly. You need to also monitor stakeholder engagement. That is, you need to track stakeholder involvements, attitudes, and agreements because that depends on how they are impacted and how our project is moving forward. Collaboration is communicate effectively, ensure that stakeholders support and they are helping in solving all the problems. So collaboration will definitely help you to do that. You just need to be open up, very clear about how do you want to manage and what are the actual activities you want to do, and you need to gain agreement on that and as well as the commitment. Moving forward, what how you can do it using guidelines and tools. First one, what we have already identified is business analysis approach. That is, what kind of uh, format or what is a level of formality, how do you want to do it is all dependent on you based on your stakeholders. Business objectives. This is very important. You need to be having a proper achieving future state scenario as well as aligning stakeholders with the project goals. Future state description here, basically focusing stakeholders on what we will be achieving based on the discussion we had and what is our goal, and make sure that they are aligned with that goal. Recommended action is basically we need to communicate very important step, because this will give you the next step that need to be done. This will forecast to you how do you want to progress towards next step. Then risk analysis results is identifying stakeholders related risk, because that is where the actual crucial successful collaboration works, and you will be avoiding and tackling all those risks, and that will be a good impact on the stakeholder as well as on the project. Next is techniques. How do you actually interact or communicate or collaborate with the stakeholders? Collaborative games promote teamwork, then uncover hidden assumptions, and that will help you to interact activities. So collaborative games with the stakeholders would definitely help you to grab that information. Lessons learned. This is retrospective, basically gather stakeholder feedback and then enhance work relationships. Risk analysis and management is another technique where you identify risk, mitigate risk, and stakeholder involvement here that will help you to manage those risks. Next, to identify the stakeholders, to identify what are the roles, what are the responsibilities. Stakeholder list, stakeholder map, and personas are very good techniques that you will able to help you to identify based on the domain. Moving forward, who are all involved in this particular task? Everyone is your stakeholders. It might be indirect or direct. Then what would be the output? You got the output as stakeholder engagement. That means you have already communicated. This will be willingness to participate in the business analyst activities and communicate business analyst. That means they are good enough that they are involving in our activities and agreeing upon that. That means you're doing a good job and you are a good business analyst. How do you manage stakeholders in car development project as an example? If you look at this, you'll be able to understand how it actually happens in real time. So let's say there's a car development website project, and you need to make sure that you are successfully communicating with your stakeholders throughout this development project as a car development. The intention here is we are actually identifying the stakeholders, and the stakeholders may be developers, designers, marketers, and clients. We are actually clarifying the roles, their level of impact, their relationships, their delays, their miscommunication, and making sure that everything is already at our pace. And then we are finding out how do you want to communicate with them. Stakeholder engagement approach and client relationship document is a way we have choose in order to actually go and collaborate with the stakeholders. Now, what happens is we gain an agreement of project scopes, we monitor stakeholder feedback, we collaborate with during meetings. What techniques or tools we use or what guidelines we use is project management methodology, design mockup as that this is a car development website. We develop frameworks because this is again a website development plan, SEO guidelines that will help you in marketing. What kind of training, what kind of techniques we use actually to bring all this and happen in the real time is brainstorming session, user acceptance testing, regular process updates. Who are involved as a stakeholder is a designer, developer, and marketer. What would be the output? The output would be the successful launch of a car website. So that is what is the output of this particular project. And this will happen by communication. So similarly, let's go in reverse way. How do you manage stakeholder in a shopping app project? The output of shopping app project is basically willingness of stakeholders to participate and communicate in the project team. Who are involved? Project managers, developers, designer, market team, and client user. The similar fashion, everything happens at a pace. You just need to identify the roles, identify the communication steps, identifying risk. Then basically that would be your proper stakeholder engagement approach. Then plan a business performance assessment plan, and then collaborate with the stakeholders and define it very clearly. This is very basic example. I might be confusing you here, but I would suggest you to skip this if you are not sure, but you can go on watch the same thing on my website as well. Moving forward, this is all about the business analysis, managing stakeholder collaboration. This is chapter 3.4.5. So thank you for watching this video. By this, we are ending the chapter 4. Next, we are moving to chapter 5, which is moreover related to requirement lifecycle management. So this is my website below here, and the link, if you look at here, this one, yeah, this one. So this one here, perfect. That one, please go and click on that. You'll able to see a website. You can go and explore that website. From now till the end of the year, we have free 2 sessions directly. You can kind of contact with me. There is no charge. It's all free. You can come up with your Q&A, your interview questions, your project questions, anything it might be. I'm ready to help you, assist you as a BA, and that will be definitely helpful for you as well. So thanks for following, thanks for subscribing. Stay tuned.